Okay, can you now we are going to look at the concept of BOPA. What is a BOPA? A BOPA, as I'm saying, remember when we said the pH is between 1 to 7 is an acidic. And if it is between 7 to 14, it is alkali. And the lower the pH, the higher the acidity. The lower the pH, the higher the acidity. And the higher the pH in the case of alkali, the higher the alkalinity. And when substance have a pH of 7, it tells you that the substance is neutral. That is, it is neither acidic, neither basic. So now we are going to look at the concept of BOPA. What is a BOPA? A BOPA is a solution that resists any large of pH changes. So it is a substances or a molecules or a solution that always trying to resist the changes in pH. Because, like for example, in our biological systems, we have in the biological system, we have a situation where all our biological system have their specific pH value. Like in the mouth, we have the pH of 7.4. And in the stomach, we have a pH of around 2. So stomach is highly acidic, while the mouth is partially alkali. So now the question is, sometimes some of food that we are taking or some of the microorganisms that get into our body that tend to alter the pH of our system. And if we change the pH of our system, there is a likelihood that the proteins, the enzymes, as well as the important biological molecules that are found either in the stomach or in the mouth, they may be destroyed. They may be actually destroyed. So the pH must be maintained. The pH must be maintained. So that is why we need this buffering system that will always have us to maintain the pH. So BOPA is always trying to resist the changes in the pH. So now, how does it actually resist these changes in pH? Is by partially absorbing the addition of hydrogen ion. Like for example now, let's say the pH of the stomach is 7.4. 7.4. So maybe now in the presence of some external agent, then the pH now change from 7.4 to 8. So how do you now reverse this pH to 7.4? Remember, I told you whenever you have hydrogen ion, you have acids. And whenever you have OH, you have a base. So always, if you have an increase in pH, how do you bring down the pH? How will you bring down the pH? Is by adding acids. So now the pH is 8. So how do you bring it back to 7.4? Is by adding an acid. You add an acid. You add an acid. And how do you add an acid? Is by getting any acidic substances and add it into the system. So when you do that, like for example now, what is an acid? It's just an hydrogen ion. So once you add an acid, it's like you are adding hydrogen ion. Then the pH will now start going back from 8 to 7.4. And if, let's say, the pH is getting, maybe is decreasing, let's say it's supposed to be maybe from 7.4, it's now decreased to 6. Then how do you now bring it off? Is by adding, how will you bring it off? By adding base. You add a base. And as you are adding base, what are you doing? You are adding OH group. And that OH group, which is the base, will now bring off the pH to the normal states. It will bring it off. So what I want you to understand in this case of BOPA, a BOPA is a solution that always use in order to bring the pH up, to bring the pH either off or down. Okay. And then we have different types of BOPA. We have acidic BOPA and we have basic BOPA. Acidic BOPA is a mixture of weak acids and it is salts. Weak acid and it is salt of strong base, and it is salt of strong base. That is weak BOPA. While for the basic BOPA, we have a mixture of weak base and it is salt of strong acid. So in what situation do we use acidic BOPA and at what situation do we use basic BOPA? So we use acidic BOPA if we are trying to bring a pH down, not up. And we use basic BOPA if we want to actually increase the pH. Maybe, as I said, the pH of saliva is 7.4. So now if it goes down, it means that you want to increase the pH, so you use basic BOPA. And if you now have your pH increase and you want to bring it down, then you now use acidic BOPA. So BOPAs resist changes in pH, often the addition of limited amount of, you see, by limited addition of hydrogen ion or OH ion. Limited, it means that it's a very small amount you will add. You add a very small amount, and that will actually bring the pH to the normal state. So BOPA pH do not change often the addition of hydrogen ion of or OH group, but the change is much less than that would occur in the case of BOPA absence. So you should know this. So that is for the concept of BOPA. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to actually have another meeting because it is going to elapse in the next very few minutes. So we are going to rejoin again. Thank you.